Hey my bad little things, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I do a fill-in on myself for my GelX nails. First I'm just going in and removing all of the stones and charms. I didn't even have this set on that long. I just knew I was not going to keep it for a while, and also my rhinestones started coming off because I didn't properly place them with more gel. I just used top coat, but it's fine, we're here. Anyway, I am just removing all of the gel polish off of my nails, making sure that everything is really smooth. Remove any lifting if you have any, but I only had these nails on for like maybe a week and a half, so I don't need to worry about that. But this process is really important, the removing the gel polish and also prepping with the sanding band. This is a medium grit sanding band that I'm using right now. But when you're doing these two things, you want to make sure that the nail is completely smooth, that there's no sharp ridges or dents or bumps in the nail. You're just going to take the sanding band and just kind of even that out and make sure that the gel is smooth and blended in with the nail. Now I'm taking a small cuticle bit. This is like a square diamond bit, I believe, fine, and I'm taking this around my cuticles and making sure that I'm getting up all of the dead skin, and if there's anything left around the cuticle area that I didn't get with the sanding band, I just make sure to remove it with this. You can go in pretty heavy with that cuticle bit because it's really nice and it doesn't hurt. Now I'm taking my 100 grit square file and I am just making sure that my shape is back to its old self, because you already know when we wear nails they just get lumpy and bumpy. So my shape I got that in check, and now I'm just taking 70% isopropyl alcohol and I am cleansing the natural nails and making sure that there is no dust or debris on them. Yeah, so they look like this, beautiful and dehydrated. Now I am taking a Gelish pH bond. This is also a dehydrator. I like to dehydrate twice sometimes just to make sure that all the oils and everything are removed, so I make sure that I'm doing the whole nail. This is the gel that I'm using. The refill bottle is from Amazon, and I just like to put it in my Gelish Foundation bottle because I love the brush and it works really nicely. And it's also the closest gel that I have found to the consistency of this one, the original Gelish Foundation or Gelish Foundation Flex. Anyway, I am taking this and I am putting it on the entire nail. I am pretty much just taking my time with this. You don't want to rush it. Just make sure that you get all of the dry areas completely covered with gel, and make sure if you have like little cracks or something, you can also fill it in with the gel instead of like trying to remove the entire nail if you don't want to do that. Now I'm not going to cure this, and I'm taking a bigger bead of gel on my brush and I'm pushing it to my cuticle, and then I'm just going to kind of flare it out onto the tip, if that makes sense. And now I'm just going to take my liner brush and I'm going to be pulling the gel down from my cuticle just to blend it into the nail to make sure that there's no lumps in the gel. This is what's going to fill your nail in, and just make sure when you're doing this you're checking it from all angles, and you can also see the reflection of the light. If it bends or not in the nail, then you know that it's not smooth, if that makes sense. And now I'm going to flash cure it for roughly 10 to 15 seconds just to make sure it stays in place and so that you can keep moving to the next nail. So I'm going to show you again, but this time just a little quicker. The first one was real time, so you can kind of see how long it takes me to do each nail, but you're going to see I'm just kind of putting more of the gel towards the cuticle because that's what we need to fill in. And then you're just going to smooth it out with a liner brush to make sure it's all leveled. It will self-level. And then you're just going to cure it for, again, 10 to 15 seconds. And this is what they look like, all finished. They are perfect and ready to just go straight in with the design. You do not have to finish file these nails. I hated doing that, so I figured out a way where I didn't have to, and this way works, and the application is flawless once you get the technique down. So for my design today, I'm going to use the base. I'm going to make the base white because we are doing the Ed Hardy nails. I can't believe that I put myself up for this challenge, but I had to, because as soon as I saw the jacket and as soon as I got it in the mail, I was like, oh my god, these would be so cute on nails. So anyway, I'm doing the base white, and now I'm going in with my white chrome, and I'm just going to put this one on my left hand is like the star of the show. Okay, so we're doing the white chrome on these, and what I did to do the chrome is I just wiped off the sticky layer after I cured the nails fully, and then after you wipe with alcohol, you go straight in with the chrome and rub it on the nail, and it sticks perfectly. So now I need a gray, so I'm just kind of mixing this lighter gray and darker gray. And also I got these new brushes off of Amazon. I love them so far. They're really nice and easy to work with. So I'm just kind of like getting it ready, just taking off kind of the stuff that comes when it's packed, you know, and just using a little bit of alcohol. But this is the color that I needed, so now I'm going in and I'm making some flames because the background of the canvas, well, the background of my jacket, like where the art is, has kind of gray designs on it. So I'm gonna do the flames, and you can see here, this is kind of how I do them. I just kind of do all of the, it pretty much is line work, but I feel like some people just don't really know how to start to do a flame. So I'm going to show you on the next one that I do, because the other one's going to be a little bit different, and I feel like this is the one that most people get. So I just kind of start with like a U at the bottom, and you're just going to bring the lines in, and make sure that whenever you are stopping the line that you're making it really sharp and crisp, because I feel like that's what's going to make your artwork and your pretty much your hand painted artwork look a lot better, is when you can kind of control how thick and thin the line is. And that's kind of the whole deal with doing flames, is you kind of have to know the pressure of the brush. I know that sounds so crazy and complex, but it's really not that hard. It's not that hard, but you can do it. You can definitely do a flame. If you're scared to do any other art, I recommend starting with flames and like French tips and stuff like that if you're not used to doing artwork. French tip and a flame paired together, I promise they'll love it. Your client will like it, you might even like it. But now I'm creating my color palette. Okay, so I'm using white, red, I'm gonna mix a pink, we have yellow, a kind of like a bright orange, burnt orange, green, and then also this kind of nudish color. I'm mixing the pink and the green because I had to add other colors to them to get the perfect one. This is the picture, this is my reference. So now I'm creating the little dagger that's going through the heart. I wish I would have planned this nail a little bit better because I wasn't able to fit the entirety of the picture on there. So I'm a little frustrated about that, but anyway, pretty much what I'm doing, I'm not showing you everything because this process took me very long. This was like 2 hours of footage. So I'm curing each color. So after I put a color down, I'm curing it for about 10 seconds in between. So that is what makes this process a little bit longer when you're using gel paint, is that you have to cure each layer because the colors will run into each other and it's gonna look a mess, and you're not gonna have the detail and the picture that you're wanting. So after every little tiny step, I'm curing in between, and then I'm painting, and then I'm curing, and then I'm painting. So that's what's going on behind the scenes, a whole lot of that. But I'm gonna try to give you some tips on starting with your gel hand painted art when it comes to doing nails. Just start simple. Just start simple. Once you get the basics down and just like know how to do your abstract art and you know how to work the brushes, I feel like after time you are going to get better as long as you keep practicing and as long as you don't say no to anyone. Like, just try things, try them multiple ways. You can always practice, have a client send you a picture, and then you can practice it before they come in to make sure that you know what you're doing instead of just winging it. But honestly, it's just some people are creative and some people are not creative. I have just always been, look, I was the only child, so I had a lot of time. I love to paint, so I have kind of always been an artistic and creative kid, and I love to paint, I love to draw. So it was kind of easy for me to transfer over to doing nails because I already had the art part down. I just had to learn the basics as far as building a nail and knowing what to do when someone has an issue and just, you know, all of those things. But with time, the art and the skill will come, and you'll also find your niche, because I really do love hand painted art, but there's also some people out here who are really, really good at acrylic art. And it's not that I wasn't, it's just that it wasn't as fun to me, and I love to do hand painted stuff so much better. And I'm just happy that I got the chance to be able to show you guys this. And yeah, this is my little dagger. It did not completely fit on the nail, which is why I said I wish I would have planned it a little bit better, but it's okay. Anyway, now we're moving on to the other star of the show, which is Tiger. I honestly was terrified when I started looking at him and trying to do this. I can honestly say that I just wing it. It's hard to plan out. I just make sure that I'm going in with the white and kind of color blocking his and making the outline of just his head and where everything is going to be positioned, because the white is just going to be the base, and then we're going to add all the details on top with the black and just all the colors and stripes and everything. But looking at the picture of him definitely was intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, but I just kind of went for it. I just didn't stare at it for too long. I just kind of started copying what I was looking at and making it 10 times smaller than the picture that I was looking at as I was doing this. So this part is kind of hard for me to explain exactly what I'm doing, but one tip that I can give you when you're using your liner brush and you need to make really teeny tiny lines like I'm doing right now for detail, do not smother your brush in the gel, because if you have way too much gel on your brush, that is going to make your lines really thick and gloppy, and it's just not going to look good. So make sure you're only putting the gel polish on the tip of the brush, because that's going to make a big difference in how you do your line work. I remember when I learned that from some other nail tech on Instagram like a couple years ago, and it changed my entire outlook and skill level as far as doing hand painted artwork, especially something as small and detailed as this. So yeah, just make sure you get the right brushes too. Like if you buy some off of Amazon, I'll have these linked too, because these are actually pretty nice. I haven't used all of them, but I do like this one so far. I think this is the 9mm brush, which is really good for pretty much any nail art that you're doing. But make sure you don't go super cheap on nail art brushes. There's some that you can get away with that are really, really cheap, but on Amazon, I would always go for the ones that are maybe like, I don't know, $15 to $20 or something like that. If you can't, I completely understand, but I think these were super affordable actually. I don't even know if they were $15, but I just wanted to try them out. But yeah, just make sure that you're getting good nail art brushes and that you're not completely coating the brush with gel, because you're not going to get the lines and the smoothness that you want. Now, another tip is how to clean and store your brush. Whenever you clean your brush, all I want you to do, I don't want you to use acetone, I don't want you to use water, I don't want you to use soap. All you're going to do is wipe it off with a paper towel. Make sure that all the gel is out of it. Don't use anything, just use the paper towel and your fingers. Use your fingers to make the brush pointy again, and then you're just going to put it in a drawer. You're not going to use any type of anything on it. You're just going to wipe the gel out with a paper towel, make it sharp again with your fingers, twirl it, do what you need to do, and put it in a dark drawer. Make sure that it's not in the sunlight, or you're not going to cure it around the UV lamp or anything. Just make sure that you store it in a dark place. And then when you want to use it again, all you're going to do is take it out and you're going to twirl it around in some rubbing alcohol to loosen everything up and make it flexible again. Do not use acetone or brush cleaner or anything on your brushes, because it's just going to mess them up. I have found over the last couple of years that using the alcohol is the best thing that I've ever done, and also not cleaning my brush when I'm storing it away after I'm finished using it. So that is definitely one of the biggest tips that you can take for keeping your brushes and them lasting you years upon years, and making sure that they don't get messed up. And when you use glitter, pretty much the same thing. Like if you're using like a glitter gel polishes, make sure that you clean it really good before you go in with another color, because there will be glitter. There will be glitter everywhere. But this is the finished look. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate Ed Hardy for sending me this jacket because I am super in love with it, and I am happy they gave me the inspo to do these nails. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.